Yo, RX, back with not a breakdown, a recap of UFC Vegas 36, which ended about 7 hours ago. Usually it would have been a couple hours ago, but it was an early card, so it ended around like 7. Um, yeah, it was a really good card. I did decent on picks, which I'll get to my picks during the recap and at the end. And besides that, um, yeah, you know what to do. Like, comment, sub, yada yada yada. I don't need to tell you this every time, but I still will. But besides that, let's get into the recap. First fight on the card. Well, side note, I know this, everyone knows this by now, but Martinez versus Rojo got canned because Martinez botched the weight cut by I think 2 pounds. But I just wanted to throw that in there because it was in my breakdown. So, just wanted to throw that out there. But the first fight in the card, Marc-Andre Barrios versus Dolce. I'm not gonna say his last name because it's not gonna fail. I know I'm gonna botch it. This fight was really bad on one guy's part, and that's Dolce. I picked him by first round knockout, which I think he could have got if he actually tried to fight. He fought scared. He fought on his back foot the whole fight, backing up, having his back against the cage, literally the whole fight. I would usually I do like a little bit of in-depth breakdown or recap of the fight. So literally most fight was just them circling around the cage with Dolce's back up against it, and Andre just jabbing him or hooking him, leg kick. And the few times Dolce got off the cage, he looked fine. It looked like he could have won the fight, but he just gassed about early in round 2 and just fought bad. And even his coaches, Bisbee and Cormier, all said, dude, get off the cage. Nope. He was determined to be against that cage. And then for Marc-Andre Barrios, he fought the fight he needed to fight to win. He didn't do anything special. He didn't do anything like jaw dropping. He didn't do anything performance of the night winning. He did what he had to do to win. Plain and simple as that. He kept him up against the cage. He jabbed him, and he won every round. And actually, no, I take that back. It was a UD. Two judges had it 29-28, and the third guy having it 30-27. I had 29-28. I think Dolce won round 1 by a hair, but I'm not mad if you say 30-27. But there's not much to say in this breakdown. All Dolce fought like an idiot, and Andre fought to win. Besides that, good performance by Andre, but you only won because your opponent has no idea what he's doing. He has no idea. His game plan must have been non-existent. But after that, we got MMA Twitter's main event, which did not end the way a lot of people enjoyed. Not because it was a bad stoppage, because the wrong guy won. Juicy J Julian Arosa versus Charles Air Jordan. Great fight. I picked Jordan by decision. He did not get the decision. He probably was not going to get the decision if he didn't get finished in round 3. But this is another fight. This fight is the complete opposite of the last fight because it's not easy to break down or recap because there was so much to remember. It was the Air Jordan and Juicy J fight. They struck each other, and it was a fun fight. It was 1-1 going into the third. Everyone agreed. And then in round 3, Juicy J got one of the cleanest Darce chokes you'll ever see. Go watch the replay. You can find it on YouTube or ESPN Network or ESPN Plus. I mean, it's such a clean Darce choke. Good prop to Juicy J. He looked good. He had the size advantage, and that's something a couple people brought up. He looked pretty big compared to Jordan, and I think that helped him. He had the way bigger reach, and he was 6'1" to 5'9". So, great performance by Juicy J. For Air Jordan, he had his moments. He got the knockdown in round 2, but besides that, like, he won round 2 just because of the knockdown. Without the knockdown, he was gonna be down 2-0, and we all know that. But yeah, this fight was fun. I thought it was gonna be fight of the night. Both the fights I thought that were gonna be fight of the night were not fight of the night. Shocker. And yeah. For Mark Andre and Juice J, I don't have a fight idea because I like to do fight ideas after a recap, but I just have nothing. I only have like a couple for a few fighters because this card had a lot, but at the same time it didn't, if you know what I mean. But Jordan takes a bad L. He needs to improve. He's still young in his career. I don't think he's hit his prime yet. He's only 25. He's gonna be 26 soon. Oh, I don't think he's hit his prime yet. And Juicy J, veteran, 25 and 9. Well, now 26 and 9. Great performance. Great fight, great performance, and can't wait to see them both back in there soon. After that, you got Jock Tank Shaw versus Ludovic Sholinian. This fight is a lot like the Dolce fight. Shaw didn't do anything crazy, he just won the fight. He made Ludovic, not he made Ludovic fight the fight. The first 2 rounds, like if I had to describe the first 2 rounds, it was either Jack dominating on the feet or Jack dominating on the ground. And then round 3, Ludovic landed a few nice, I think it was right hand or left hand. I think like 2 or 3 nice, but that's it. Ludovic's a really weird fighter. Like on Tough, like in the Ricky Turcios fight, he didn't turn on till round 3, and when he did turn on, he was a great fighter. But I think he more relies on his chin and his countering than actual skill. And for his opponent, Jack Shore, he was just better than him everywhere. Like, this is probably one of 2 breakdowns on the card. Me and most other people got completely right. Shore was just gonna dominate him everywhere, and he did. Being the minus 600 favorite, you better, unless your name's Muradov against GM3. Wink emoji. I did pick Shore, of course, by decision. Got it completely right. Whoever picked a Ludovic, you're a psychopath, but hey, props if you have big enough balls to. If I had to give like an idea for both guys, Ludovic, I don't know what they could do with him next, because he's not a bad fighter, he just doesn't fight to his abilities, I think. I think if he goes in there motivated and wanting to fight, he could scrap. Well, maybe you'll get one more UFC fight, but I want to bank on it. And for the Tank, 4-0 in the UFC now, 4 or 5-0. He called out some ranked. He didn't call out any Pacific guys. He just said he wanted ranked guys. And I think a fight that'd be fun is him against Rafael Assunza. 2 grapplers who one's a lot better striking than the other, but it would be a fun fight. Assunza is ranked 12th right now, doesn't have a fight, and I think that'd be a fun fight. They could put Shore up against like Kyler Phillips, Casey Kenny, someone like that. Like if they want to do another unranked guy, hell, Sean O'Malley, book it, please. But nah, I think Assunza would be a banger, and we'll get Jack Shore right into the rankings. I think he wins that for sure. For sure. I'm gonna jump off a building. But great performance by the Tank, 15-0 now. Him and the Sugar Show, both 15-0 unranked boys. And yeah, great performance. After that, we got a great fight. And like no one expected this fight to be as good as it was. Molly McCain versus G Eon Kim. What a fight! It did win 5 of the night. I didn't give it 5 of the night. I gave it to the next fight. But still, this fight was really good. I think I'm not mad at this guy. 5 of the night deserves it. And what a war. Um, in round one, Kim just, I think, was fought smarter. She did headbutt Molly, but it was an accident. And that's the only thing that won her that round. And then Molly in the last 2 rounds just put it on Kim. I don't know if Kim gasped or she just didn't know how to handle Molly's pressure, but Molly veteranship, like, I'm not saying Kim's like a newbie to this game. They're both 31 years old, but I think Molly probably fought a lot more fights. I'm guessing. I don't know. Maybe I'm make myself sound dumb, but I know a lot of people didn't pick Molly Mccain from the breakdowns I watched. Like I know I'm one of the few people who did. I know like a lot of the people I watched didn't. They thought Kim was just gonna outstrike her with range and shit like that, but Molly said, "Fuck you, I'm getting in that pocket and punching you." But great performance by Molly. The Brits went 3 in a row on this card. They went 4-1. That one we'll get to later. And yeah, I picked McCain by decision. She got the UD, and yeah, I guess McCain went to being the favorite fight time, which yeah makes sense. A great performance by Molly. I don't have a flat idea for her because she, like, I could say ranked person, but she first win in like 2 years. So great performance by both women. Great fight, and yeah, you got your 50K video. Molly put up on her Twitter of her reacting to getting the bonus. Congrats, you deserve it. After that, the most talked about fight before, during, and after the card, Baddie, the Baddie, Pimplet versus Luigi Vandomini. Wow, he's here. He's here, and he is here to stay. He looked good. Yeah, I know people are gonna say he got lucky, which yeah, I think when he fights a guy with actual power, especially fighting at lightweight, if he was fighting Justin Gaethje in that fight, he would have got his head knocked clean off. But Luigi did rock him pretty bad, but he recovered greatly in round, and it obviously was a knockout round one. He recovered greatly, and then right at the end of round one, with like 40 something seconds left, he hurt him with a left uppercut, and then like a right hook that hurt him, and then he followed him to the other side of the cage, and just, you've seen it 100 times in the fight, he just keeps throwing, trying to crack the guard, and when he did, Luigi went down, and the apex went wild. He's here. And I was hyped as well, because first of all, I'm excited to see the Baddie in the UFC, and I picked first round knockout. I almost changed it last night to a submission, but I was like, nah, stick with your guns. And I stuck with my guns, and it got me a perfect. So, Baddie got a bonus, like he should have. I thought this was 5 of the night, but yeah, still Baddie got bonus. And yeah, it's so hard to say what they can do with Baddie, because they're either going to push him to the moon Darren Till style, or they're going to have him fight like Michael Johnson, or like just an idea. They would give him like not a great fighter, just to see if he can hang with like the cans quote unquote, or like not the great fighters. And for Luigi, he's not looked great in his last 2 fights. Like in round 3 against the French guy in his fight before this, he got the rock, but couldn't finish the job, and excuse me. And then in this fight, he got the rock and couldn't finish the job. Though he'll hurt his opponent, but not finish the job. So I don't know where that puts him in the UFC, but his next fight, do or die, probably. No. Great performance by the Baddie. I'm hyped to see him in the UFC. And yeah, let's hope we can see him in there. Maybe put him on 269, 260, or yeah, 267. He's gonna be a big name. He's the next hype boy out of the UK. Yeah, great performance. After that, you got Khalil Roundtree versus Mendescape. Um, Interesting fight. I picked Roundtree again. Not many people I watched or know picked Khalil, just based off, I don't know, personally. I don't know how people picked the Mendescape in this one, but I didn't. I picked a first round knockout. He got a second round TKO, which we'll get to that in 2 seconds. But to recap, the first he went in there like a crazy man, breaking Mendescape's nose, I believe, or really badly hurting it, because he rocked him pretty bad, and then for like a minute he was just stalking him. And then after about a minute and a half, him and Mendescape just had a normal fight, traded shots, but we know clear round one. And then round two, he slowed down, but in a good way. He started fighting a little calmer, a little smarter. Like, he knew what he was doing. He was not gonna gas himself. And then out of nowhere, within 25 seconds, John Anik talked about this like a shit ton. He threw in a oblique kick that missed. Then they walked to each other's lefts, and then he threw it again, and he landed perfectly, and it tore Mendescape's PCL, ACL, a lot of things that are important that end with L. So, yeah, great performance by Khalil. Um, yeah, and then if I talk about Mendescape, he had a moment or two in the fight, but he's just not it. I think that was it for him. He's done. He's not gonna be able to fight for a year at least. He tore like all his CLs, and those CLs are important. Last time I checked, so he's not gonna fight for a year. And why would a UFC keep a guy who's 0-3? Not look When he fought two pretty good fighters in Jimmy Crute and Khalil Roundtree, he looked awful, and then he went to an okay fight with another can like him. So he's done. He'll be in Bellator or PFL, something like that. But he's not meant for the UFC right now. He's 27. Maybe in a few years we'll see him back, but he just ain't it right now. But for Khalil, he's back. I think he should be on a 2-fight winning streak. He should have won the Pacquiao fight, but shitty judging. And really no fight idea for him. Like, so I don't have many fight ideas. I only have two more. It's the co-main and main. But Khalil will probably be back later, probably early 2022. We know the guy he's like a Tom Breeze, has bad mental issues and shit. So it's good to see a guy like him get a win. He deserves it. Seems like a cool dude. And he was the dog, and he cashed. So good for Khalil. After that, Alex Moreno versus David Azawaba. I'm gonna keep it 100. I barely watched this fight, and when I did, I zoned out. I just didn't care. Like this, I said in my breakdown, I don't give a fuck about this fight, because I didn't. It's the weakest fight on the card, and I think it showed. From what I remember watching, Moreno just did everything he needed to do to win. So, if you expected a in-depth breakdown of Alex Moreno versus David Zawaba, you're on the wrong channel. Go to Pain Fight or someone else, because you're not getting it here. I picked Moreno, got it perfect, and he did what he needed to do. Zawaba sucks, I guess. I don't know. I didn't watch this fight. Twitter was going crazy because of Khalil and Pimplet, and there was just more entertaining shit than these two guys who should probably be on the early prelims. So, good performance by Moreno. He got the win. 2-fight winning streak. He looked good in his last two fights. What I did watch of this fight, he looked good. And he beat Cowboy, so yeah, he might be starting to climb the ranks a little bit. Maybe him against Carlos Condit. I don't know, just threw a name out there. I didn't do any research on like unranked fucking welterweight, so I don't know. Carlos Condit, Max Griffin. Yeah, Max Griffin, that'd be a fun one. Yeah, I don't know, just give him someone. And after that, the co-main event of the evening, Tom Aspinall versus Sergey Spivak. This isn't a short fight, people who hit on the fucking head perfectly. Aspinall's just better. He looked better because he was better. Yeah, if you want to play devil's advocate, Spivak did come in on a week notice, if that, because Palalovic did pull out because of visa issues. So to play devil's advocate, sure, but still, he no, man, it's hard to shit on Spivak. Okay, cool for him to step in, but he didn't look great. And then Aspinall looked great. It was a weird knockout. He hit him with a right knee to the body, and as his leg was going back down, he threw a right elbow that at first didn't look like it did much, but the second Spivak got back on his, like, stepped back, he fell down, and Aspinall just jumped in and got the TKO. Or TKO, I don't know what they would call it, probably TKO. But this fight didn't have much to say because everyone in breakdowns pretty much said exactly what happened in the fight. Aspinall's better, he's a better prospect, and yeah, if Spivak couldn't knock out a 50-year-old Alexei Olenek, he had no chance against the hottest fighter in the weight class in 2021. So if I had to give a fight idea for Tom Aspinall, I'm saying Augusto Sakai, because Aspinall is 13th right now. He'll probably move up to about 11th, and Sakai's 9th on a one fight skid, or one or two, and I think it'd be a fun fight because everyone above Sakai is booked, or it would make no sense, and everyone under Sakai is booked, besides Polaknovich. And I highly doubt you're giving Tom Aspinall fucking Derek Lewis. So I think Sakai makes the most sense. Unless, that would be, unless someone pulls out later in the year, like Tybura and Volk, someone pulls out there, he can jump in there, because he didn't take any damage. But besides that, great fight for Aspinall, and for Spivak, he should fight who Aspinall was originally to fight, Sergey Polaknovich. Why not? Makes sense. Great performance by Aspinall, the other guy who got performance of the night bonus, and kept the UK's winning streak afloat till the main event, which was Derek Brunson versus Darren Till. Oh lord. If you saw my Twitter during and after the fight, you know how I feel about Derek Brunson. You know how I feel about this fight. Derek Brunson sucks. He has no striking ability, and he hugs your nuts. He's not good. If he I'll get to who he should fight next, but now that he beat all the guys under him, like, the only guy under him who I think give him a challenge is Jack Hermanson, because he's a better ground guy than Brunson. He can actually throw punches. So now Brunson's moving into the top 4 ranked guys. Bobby Knuckles already torched him. Costa and Vittori would eat him alive, and fucking Jared Cannonier, we'll get to him in a couple minutes. If I do a recap of the fight, first and second round went exactly how Brunson's last fight went. Took him down and laid on him. And then in round 3, Till came out with that classic fucking pistol of a left hand with his terrible tattoo on that arm. And he rocked him, but Brunson took him down. And I think Till was just gassed by that point. He rolled over on his stomach. And I don't even think Brunson had to rear naked choking all the way. Till was tapping. And yeah, Brunson won. I'm not giving Brunson any credit for this. He fought like a pussy. His only good win in his 5-fight winning streak was Shabazian, because he just outclassed him everywhere. Holland, he fought like a chicken. Till, he fought like a chicken. Ian Heinisch sucks, and Elias C. Duro sucks. So your best win of your 5-fight win streak that everyone's sucking you off about is Edmund Shabazian. Oh boy. And then for Darren too. Dude, are you a fighter or are you a fucking... or are you Mac Malley? Do you want to fight or do you want to tweet? Trust me, I like Darren too. Who doesn't? But dude, there comes a point. You need to fight and you need to joke around. What part of the spectrum do you need to be on in a fight where you pretty much need to win? You picked a joke around part. Like, even at the end of round one, when after, like right before the horn, he did get up finally and he patted Brunson on the back. Like, dude, you got your fucking ass beat the whole round. Like, Till, I think, needs a wake up call. Was this it? I don't think so. I think tomorrow or next time he's in camp, his coach should need to sit him down and tell him, dude, either something's not right with you mentally or something ain't right for our training. And whichever one it is, we're fixing it right now. Because you need this next win, and if you don't get it, you're done. People are already talking about him getting cut, which is fucking stupid. Because he's too big of a name to cut. But, man, not wanna fight now since Kelvin Gastelum, and even that was a split. So let's say you scored that fight for Gastelum. He's not won a fight since Wonder Boy in fucking 2018. 2018, he's not won a fight. So he better win his next one. And I think if they do book the fight, I think would make sense, which is him against Uriah Hall. I think he'll win that. Personally, I think he'll win that shit for sure. But if you beat Uriah Hall, or let's say, I don't know, fucking someone else, let's say someone unranked, cool, you beat him. But if you can't beat, I've said this, I swear, back to back weeks, if you beat the guys under you, good job. But if you don't beat the guys above you, it doesn't matter. I said it with Kelvin Gastelum. I said this with who else? I said it with someone else the other week, but I think it still stands true. If you can't beat the people above you, you can't go up in the rankings and fight for the belt. Sorry, but it's just factual, bro. You need to win when it matters. Yes, you can beat the tomato cans, but when it comes to real fighters, show up or show out. So, yeah, hopefully we can get Till versus Uriah Hall, or Till in the UFC again. Like I said, people saying he should get cut, you're a fucking idiot. And then for Derek Brunson, I think it's kind of obvious what the fight to make is Jared Cannonier. Because I think Jared deserves a title shot more than Brunson, and let's say Whitaker pulls out, Jared's going in there way before Brunson. UFC's gonna call Jared Cannonier before they call Derek Brunson, and I doubt Jared Cannonier is gonna say no. So I think if Brunson versus Jared makes the most sense, and I think Jared, who's big enough to stop takedowns and 1,000 times a better striker, will flatline him. And if he, let's say he does somehow beat Jared, what, he fights Izzy again and gets fucking mollywopped? You're not gonna take down Izzy, and you have no chance of striking. So good luck, Brunson. You're gonna need it, bro. But yeah, that was the recap. If you wanna know how I did on my picks, I would have had Jonathan Martinez to open card again. Had him break down. He missed weight. Of course, he had to pull out Friday at like 8:30 after breakdown came out and after I already recorded. So fuck. But besides that, I had the Dalcia. I had Dalcia by decision, by knockout in round 1. Nope. Had Jourdain decision. Nope. Had Shore decision. Perfect. Mccain decision. Perfect. Baddie knockout in the first. Perfect. Khalil knockout in the first set. Almost perfect. Moreno decision. Perfect. Aspinall KO in the first. Perfect. And Sweet Caroline by decision. Nope. I went 6 of 9, 5 perfects, and 490. The best I've done in a couple weeks. And yeah. It was a fun card. It's not the best card, it's not the worst card. I think that's like a middle of the pack card. But yeah, wow, 30 minutes, holy shit. Hope you enjoyed the recap, guys. You won't see me next week because the only UFC things are Contender Series and like Cage Warriors, but that's not UFC. So you'll see me next Friday, the Friday right before Smith and Spam, which that card looks okay. So that's when you'll see me again. You know, keep notifications on if you want to see when I upload. But yeah, that's that. Hope you enjoyed the recap, and yeah, guys, RX out. Fuck Derek Brunson.